started this week's class with the introduction of the pensa martillo, or the hammer fist. Here the boys begin by training the jabma and the crossma. They are developing the internal and external references. Plus, look how they continue the escudo con mano in order to change the jacket and let the next man train. Pensa martillo is a great weapon to develop. As with most things, it seems relatively easy on the surface, but it's what lies behind the technique that's of great interest to us. Moving on, the boys now start blending the punch and the hammer. We need to find equal ability with both weapons. Knowing the weapon or really understanding its potentials is a totally different thing altogether. This is where the conditioned mind can play with our ability to learn. As we said before, the human always likes to think it knows best, and many times pride is not the power. In this exercise, the boys isolate the development and concentrate on catching the fluidity and mechanics on the high line only. Obviously, the other areas will be developed. Continuing to build the exercise, the ground is added back into the equation. Now the boys develop the punch and the hammer combination from lying, and once they've escaped, continue with the same attack. By building the exercise, but focusing on one development at a time, we really catch a good ability pretty quick. Like we always say, just look at the reflection of how it is, and then just work on it. Again, building the development process, the boys now add another energy. Look how the opponent turns away when receiving. This instigates another line of attack, and one that we need to understand. We need to understand this second line of attack from the opponent for one very good reason. What do you think his real intention is? Obviously attack the groin, and that's not funny. So we need to investigate and understand this change of direction from the opponent. Okay, focus pad time again. The boys connect the areas and now blend the weapons in combination to make the attachments. The shield continues to play a big part in this grade, and the kicks are also in there, so that we can get a chance to play with one of the range changes. As you can see, we can mix and match anything if we really understand it, but there needs to be a valid reason as to why we train a specific thing. We never invent a thing just because. It needs to have substance. As we've said before, hitting the human body is not as easy as people think. For this reason, these kinds of simple yet essential exercises are necessary. We all think we can punch, and maybe we can, but we want to get better, right? Therefore we need to study harder in order to grow. When we get to grips with the hammer, we will discover a very interesting thing. I could tell you right now, but I won't. And the only reason that I'm not going to tell you is this. If you spend the time with this work, you will probably find the answer for yourself. And when you do, you will know. Well, in this exercise we put the whole class in there. Like before, there's a lot going on in there, so get a pen and paper, follow one of the guys through the complete cycle and write down exactly what you see. This way you can catch every part and the connections. This work really does need some dedicated time. In isolation all the work is quite easy, but blending and connecting it all together takes a bit of effort. But if you put the time in, it's you who will catch the ability. Leave all the talking and debating for others. Just get down to some serious training, that's where it's at. Here's our equivalent of the musician's jamming session. Jump in there and play. Make sure you listen to what's going on and analyse how you cope with everything. If you feel stressed, this is good. It's how we learn. Another thing we've said before is video yourself training this exercise. If you haven't done so already, then make sure the next training session you do so. It's the only way you can truly look at how you move, plus you can see and analyse all the mistakes, ones that we usually think we're not making. Until next week, train hard, be safe and enjoy.